And here we go on a Thursday in a packed, and I mean completely packed, UPick6 Public House. Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the United Podcast, brought to you by our friends at John Russell Hospitality. And tonight here at the UPick6 Public House, happy to have you in. Another great episode on tap here for us tonight. Isaac Petcash joining you. We've got a couple of men's wrestlers who will be joining us in just a moment as we get kicked off on our show. It is hard to believe that November is rapidly moving at a rapid pace, and tonight we're more than excited to be able to bring you what's going to be a big episode, because men's wrestling, like we said on the show, John Melody on the show as well. So we'll have so much going on tonight as we get ready for another great show here in the month of November. Let's take a look at our show rundown for tonight and tell you what we have going on. Again, men's wrestling going to be on the show for us this evening. Excited to have them as we roll along throughout the program here in this second Thursday in the month of November. They'll be joining us tonight. We'll also have John Melody, the owner of the UPick6 Tap House, on with us this evening as well. Can't wait to have his insight and his perspective as we get ready for an exciting month ahead for UPick6 and John Russell Hospitality and more. Top 5 plays of the week, dish of the day, what's on top, and more. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started with our podcast tonight with our dish of the day. It's a favorite. All right, our dish of the day, for those of you who are watching out in the audience live at the UPick6 Public House, is the Guinness stew. We have it right here. Joey and Grant don't know it yet, but they're going to take this and eat this afterwards because I can't. I have to do a podcast. They're excited. They're off this weekend. They don't have to worry about making weight until their next competition coming up in a couple of weeks. It is absolutely delicious. Guinness stew with a couple of pieces of toasted bread. If you're Irish, you know what this is. If you're not, you should probably just try it anyway. It's delicious. It's got a lot of great flavor to it. Get the dish of the day tonight and any day at the UPick6 Public House. It's our Guinness stew, our dish of the day at the UPick6 Public House. All right, let's get into the show, shall we? We have them sitting right here. Let's not waste any time. Happy to be joined tonight by two of our men's wrestlers, a team that's 2-0 already on the season when it comes to first place results. And now tonight, they join us, two transfers, Joey Lyons, Grant McKay, two champions from the early portion of the season. Gentlemen, first of all, guys, thanks for joining us. You picked a good week because I don't know if you got a good audience here tonight. It's pretty crazy busy.
It's packed.
Really great location. Let's start just with an overlook of the season. And I love to get to talk to both of you because you're both transfers. So this is your first season coming in. You're 2 weeks into the season. And yet already you've had 2 first-place team finishes, a boatload of individual finishes. Grant, we'll start with you because you came from up the road, or I guess down the road, down south at Penn. What has this been like so far for you at Gannon in experiencing this men's wrestling program under Coach Boyd?
I love it. It's really been a great opportunity for me. And, we had a couple transfers come in, and we have a whole bunch of, freshmen on the team and a couple returners. So I knew there was some questions about how the team chemistry would be and everything like that. But I think it's going amazing. Our team is very dedicated.
Joey, I'll go to you next. And I will say, too, by the way, Joey Lyons was the most excited for Media Day out of all the men's wrestlers. He had the greatest poses, greatest action videos. So you'll get to see that with their first home dual meet. But how about for you, Joey? Again, you come from a pretty standout program. You had a great career. You come in, and now you're tasked with immediately fitting in at 197. What has this been like for you coming into Gannon and having to contribute immediately to this team?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it was a lot of pressure. I ended up finishing 5th at the max last year. I feel like I have a lot of ability and a lot of talent that I can bring to this team, and I feel like my skill set really lies in like the leadership area. And I felt like I was going to slot in at 197 and start competing well and do what I do and work hard and wear guys down. And I felt like that was going to rub off on my teammates and just show them, I wrestled 4 years in Division I. I know what it takes to be competitive at this level. And, what do we need to do day in and day out? How do we need to practice? How do we need to push each other? How do we need to challenge each other mentally and stay focused throughout the week, on the weekend, doing all the right things, to achieve the success that we want to achieve. And that's, going and chasing down a national title.
We'll talk about more of the season in a minute, but I think it's important to ask both of you this question. We know that the transfer portal now and the NCAA is rampant, for better or for worse, right? For you guys and early on for our program, it's been wonderful. What made you both want to pick Gannon? We'll start with you, Joey. You both come from Division I programs, preeminent Division I programs who have had success. When you went through your recruiting journey, entering the portal, looking at potential other opportunities, what made you want to wrestle for this school specifically?
I really like Coach Boyd, and I thought it was exciting to have his son, Jeff Boyd, to be our head coach or to be our assistant running most of our practices.
Yeah.
You know, they brought me in on my recruiting visit. I loved the campus, but I loved the energy that these guys had, and they showed me the projected lineup. And you know, you got returning All-Americans with Jake Niff and Dylan Walker, and you got guys like Jerry Echeverria, who's been here. He was an All-American. And just seeing that lineup and seeing all the names on that board and all the accolades that they had and just being excited to be part of that was so exciting for me. And I just wanted to go – I thought the opportunity to go chase a national title as a team and to slot in as a leader was, you know, super exciting. And that's what was attractive to me.
I imagine, Grant, same for you, coming from Pitt, playing wrestling for a program that has had a lot of success as of late. Similar for you, what made you – come to the decision to want to be a part of the Golden Knight family?
Yeah, talking to the coaching staff, you know, I could just really tell that they care about their athletes more than just wins and losses, that they actually care about you as a person. And, you know, that was huge for me. And then looking at the team, looking at who was coming in and, you know, kind of looking ahead to a preview this season, you could really tell that they were really building for a pretty special year.
Grant McKay, Joey Lyons, men's wrestling, joining us on the program, 197, 165, the weight classes that they compete at. Gents, I want to ask you, Coach Tom Boyd, we know him well. He's been a part of this program forever. I know he gets along with everybody, but bringing in Coach Jeff Boyd, and you alluded to this a bit, Joey, you corrected yourself when you call him a head coach, but maybe in a way it feels like an associate head coach because he runs the practices. What has it been like having someone that's near the age that you guys are at? I'm sure there's got to be a component of it where you feel that connection with Coach Jeff Boyd. What's it been like having the Boyds as your coaches, and specifically having Jeff come on this year for the first year as you guys are first years as well?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. It's great having Jeff and Tom because, you know, Tom, he's got all the experience. He does all the managerial stuff. You know, he sets up all our duels and all our schedules and stuff. But then Jeff, he brings this great energy to the room. And, you know, every day he comes in, whether it's a lift or a practice, he's excited. And he just wants to get after it. And I associate with that. That's how I feel. I come in every day, and the best part of my day is showing up in the room and getting a scrap and fight for an hour with my best friends. You know, we're chasing down super high accolades and you know, that energy and Jeff understands what it takes. You know, he made it down to the Division I national tournament twice, and he was just there. So, and he's been around elite level training, and you know, and he grew up with it. So he grew up in the Gannon room, and he's tied to this legacy, and I'm trying to build on that.
I'll tell you what, Grant, I imagine that after practice, maybe even during practice, there are some one-on-one bouts between Coach Jeff and others. Have either of you been a part of that? And if so, who's got the best record so far against him?
Right here.
You do?
Right here. You know, we'll go back and forth sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I'll get the better of him. He'll get the better of me sometimes. But, yeah, it's definitely – it's intense. He brings that energy, and, you know, he's an intense guy. And I think our entire coaching staff as a whole, you know, they see our potential and they're doing the right things to help us reach our goals.
Let's look back a little bit at the first two meets of the season. You win the opener at Mount Union. You go to the Bob De La Rosa last weekend, and you win that as a team, 5 individual champions in meet 1, 4 in meet number 2. You both were a huge part of that in both. How has this program so far this season had that success? I know it's early. I understand you want to get better. What do you think has contributed with you on this to this team starting off the season as well as you have?
You know, I think we're not okay just being a good team. We want to be a great team. You know, as a team, I think we do well keeping each other accountable, having high expectations. You know, it's these events and these tournaments now, you know, it is important, but our goal is ultimately in March, and that's, you know, to win individual national titles and team national titles, and, you know, the job's not done until then.
I imagine similar for you, Joey. Your thoughts just on the success so far early this season?
Yeah, I think it's never being satisfied. You know, Grant and I both won individual titles at these first 2 tournaments. We won the team titles, but we're in the film room today picking apart our matches, picking apart the wins, because it's easy to look at a loss and say, I did this wrong, I did this wrong, I did this wrong. But then you have to come away from wins as well and say, okay, where can I be better? What was I missing in this match? Where are my hands at? Where are my feet at? What could I do better? And it's those high expectations, regardless if we're winning, if we're losing, we want to be winning, but when we are winning, we still have to find the things that we can work on and improve ourselves.
We can't wait to see what you guys do the rest of the season. We know how good the lineup is. We know how good you guys have been so far this year. Before I let you go and go off with this food, gents, question, build me the best handball team in pregame warmups. You got it's one of the best traditions that this any program in Gannon has. Our student athletes do a great job of being prepared, but these guys play handball before most practices, and if they don't play handball, they're begging to play it. Build me the best handball team that could possibly be part of the men's wrestling program. Let's go with the top 6. Give me 6 guys who would be an unstoppable force at handball.
We got Pat Jackson.
Pat's the best handball player, hands down. Nobody is better and plays harder at handball than Pat.
Jake Niff takes it personal.
He does. I'd say you.
I play pretty hard. I take those games serious.
He's physical.
I play hard defense.
I was going to say they're padded walls, so I'm sure the tackling, while not encouraged, it happens, right?
Yeah. Oh, it happens.
So that's 3. You got to take 3 more.
Definitely not Caleb Butterfield.
No, Butterfingers.
He's terrible.
He can't catch.
I think we got to throw Jeff Boyd in there.
Jeff Boyd.
Okay.
He's dangerous.
He's
good.
dangerous.
So you got top 4. Can you name 2 more?
We need some big boys.
We do.
Benjamin Lloyd.
I know. That's
Freshman
who I was just
Benjamin
thinking.
Lloyd. He's talented, man. He gets physical.
He is.
Okay.
He'll go up and get it.
And then last, I think I'm going to go Baroner.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a dog too.
Yeah, Baroner.
Yeah,
So
last 2 are freshmen.
So there's your 6. Mm-hmm. So if there's ever a life or death handball situation, Mr. Lyons is captaining the team of 6 for men's wrestling to make it happen. Coach Boyd, part of that. Grant, I'm sorry, selling yourself short there. I appreciate your modesty.
I'm not the best handball player.
He's got no hands, man. He's got no hands.
Hey, that hand-eye coordination has to be really, really
not
good.
my sport.
Luckily, it's not something that counts toward the end of record. Gentlemen, great stuff tonight. Best of luck the rest of the season. Can't wait to see what you guys all do.
Yep, thank you.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All right, well, before we chat with head coach Tom Boyd, let's go ahead and show you what is on tap for this upcoming weekend. That was sure that you're all paying attention here in Gannon Athletics. Here's what's on tap this weekend for the Gannon Golden Knights. Can I just say that this is one of, if not one of the 2 best weekends of the entire year, because we're firmly into postseason for fall sports. Men's soccer, we want you to get out to McConnell Family Stadium tomorrow night, because tomorrow night, 2 o'clock, the Gannon men's soccer team facing Westchester with an opportunity to make it to the PSAC championship game. They will take on, if they can win that game, the winner of game 2, which is also at McConnell Family Stadium, Friday at 5 p.m. Men's soccer, huge opportunity in the PSAC tournament. We expect both men's and women's soccer to make the NCAA Division II national tournament. But for men's soccer and Billy Colton, the chance to host the Final Four and get that PSAC championship, that elusive championship for head coach Billy Colton. Volleyball back in action. They're back at home this weekend. 2 home games Friday and Saturday. Saturday is senior day. They'll honor Bangassou Arslan and Casey Smith, as Matt Darling's team, having already wrapped up the top seed in the PSAC tournament on the west side, will have 2 more before the regular season comes to an end. Football wrapping up the regular season this Saturday at Lock Haven. That'll be a 1 o'clock start. And women's basketball, we just got off the CCA Tip-Off Classic. Folks, Cleve Wright's team's right back at home, just like you would want them to be. 2-1, 2 big wins over number 2 Union, number 4 North Georgia, and now an opportunity to get some more wins as they will have a Atlantic Region Challenge tournament in which they'll be taking on Davis and Elkins in Charleston, West Virginia. Slippery Rock, part of that tournament as well. Men's basketball, we'll not forget about them. They opened the season this weekend on the road, albeit, but 2 big games against Bowie State and Fayetteville State, Friday and Saturday in their opening tournament. We'll see them at home for the first time in the Gary Miller Classic. Happy to be joined now as we continue along on our show with men's wrestling head coach Tom Boyd. Those are 2 fun characters you got there in Grant McKay and Joey Lyons.
Yeah, I'm all fired up after listening to those 2.
Man,
yep, great guys.
I don't know how you keep up with them. They got a lot of great personalities and a lot of firepower.
It's amazing the energy that is in our room this season with guys like that and the leadership that they bring. It's fantastic.
I want to ask you about that because, you've been pretty open about this is a team of a lot of transfers, right? You bring in a lot of kids. Those 2 are too specific. But everyone has that sort of energy to them. It was hard for me to decipher during media day who's the real leader on the team. And I think that's because you probably have most everyone, at least in the starting lineup, that you consider a leader. Am I wrong in saying that?
I think you're exactly right. Leadership is so important in the culture that you have around you. And, truly the 10 starters have done a great job of being great leaders. And, with the younger guys, they're able to just follow these guys and learn right from the start what it takes to have great culture. And it's going to pay dividends.
It already has so
Yes.
far. Let's talk about the early part of the season. And I know it's early, right? We preface it with there's still a lot of wrestling left to be had, a lot of competitions left. But you've picked up 2 first-place team finishes already. You've had a total of 9 individual champions between Mount Union and the Bob De La Rosa Open last week. A lot of things I'm sure that you're impressed about, at least with your team early on in the season.
Absolutely. You never want to take the highs too high or the lows too low. It's a great start. It is a long season. We put the first place in perspective. We don't put too much weight in rankings. We don't put. It's all about the process. It's all about the dedication, the commitment, the what we're trying to do, paying attention to those details to get us ready for the rest of the season. It's great to win. Those results are wonderful, but it's the process that we're doing day in and day out to build a championship team.
What have you liked about the process so far? Because it seems to be working from the early going.
Just the energy that these guys have, the commitment. When we came in preseason, we talked about that commitment, getting on the bus, everybody stepping up and just being a part of the journey, no matter what level of commitment or whatever level you're putting in. We want those guys committed to excellence, and that's what we're striving to do.
Let's talk a little bit about, we talked about the team and the leadership, but also some of the guys that have come in, and you mentioned that they fit in pretty seamlessly. What has been the key for you in trying to figure out the lineup? I mean, again, I know that you have the guys that you said early in the season, we expect them to be starters, but what has that process been like for you in just making sure that you have the right 10 out there day in, day out, and even in tournaments where you're going to have multiple people in a lot of cases in different weight classes?
Yeah, that's the great thing about our lineup. Although we are heavy with some upperclassmen in the incoming transfer group of guys that came in, we have a lot of young guys that are ready to step up, and we're developing those wrestlers to be able to step in whenever we need them. So everybody is gaining ground. Everyone is getting better day in and day out, and it's because of the energy. It's because of the commitment that my coaching staff, Coach Jeff and Coach Schaefer and Coach Wellick and Coach Merritt. We just have a great group of coaches that are committed 100% in making our team the best. And so we have a lot of what's really great about the group of guys I have. And although, people are always wondering, hey, if you bring in these transfers, how are they going to connect and how is that going to be? It really works when you pay attention to the detail and you have a lot of great guys that are unselfish and they're committed to each other. They came in here to build that championship team. There wasn't even today we were at a speaker and we had somebody ask who the dog was, who the top dog was on my team. And, it was passed along that everyone was a dog. Mm-hmm. And that unselfish behavior where we can achieve our own greatness, but we can also allow other people to be great and not be selfish about it or not be, we're just supporting each other. And so because of that, we just have a great group of guys and it's fun. It's fun.
You had a great group, and you have a great program. You have a great history tonight. Coach Don Henry, I see, is here. You've
My
invited
mentor is here.
couple of alumni as
That's
well.
right, yep.
And so, I think it is funny because we talk about lineage of the men's wrestling program, and it began in large part with Coach Henry. It has been passed down to you, and now in a way, you're passing it down to your son, which is really, really neat. And the coaching staff is always such a big part of it. When I had Joey just a few minutes ago, they said, man, Coach Jeff's been an awesome injection of additional energy. What's it been like having him be a part of the staff?
Well, the great thing, besides the university support that we get, the support of my alumni is huge. And then just like having Coach Henry here tonight, coming out on a cold night to come and support what I'm doing, following what he has done. And then, having my son, having Coach Jeff here, it's a family. It's a family. And I've taken so much pride in everything that we've done for the last 40 years. I want the program to be better when I leave, just like when Coach Henry did. He took it to his top level, and I want to keep taking it to the next level. And I'm hopeful that we'll continue to do that, because we're not satisfied. I mean, somebody asked me were you satisfied with your results last year? I'm not satisfied until I have 10 national champs, and I just drive the bus like that. It's important to me. I want these guys to get better every day, achieve their top goals, and I get fired up, and I'm intense, and I want these guys to be great.
And it's shown early in the year. You got a lot left on the bone, and again, a couple of home meets coming up later on in the season. What is going to be the key between now and then to be able to get to where you want to go, right? Regionals is not going to happen until February. You're
right.
Looking at nationals in March. What's the key to the grind as you've seen it for decades plus here at GU?
Well, you always have to stay healthy. I need my guys to stay healthy. We have to be proactive, making sure that we stay healthy and we stay but it really is all about the focus, paying attention to the details. Guys really have to continue to remain open to getting better and doing that little extra, watching film, when you're in the room. I always tell my teams, practice defines us. How you practice will define you. You can't practice 50% and think you can go into a match or a tournament and flip a switch and you're going to be 100%. Intensity has to happen all the time, and you can't just turn it on and turn it off. That's what you have to bring to the room, and these guys do it. So that's the details we'll pay close attention to get better every day. Very much looking forward to the rest of the season, Coach. Before we let you go, you're a regular around here at the U-Pick 6 Public House. You got a favorite dish on this menu? You know what? I don't live far from here, and John Melody has welcoming to me and my family. We come here many, many times for dinner. I love the place, all the locations. My favorite dish, I would have to say the Italian bolai. I get that quite a bit. That's a good one for me. I was going to say, I've only been here a handful of times. You know this better than I do. This is a cool venue too, because it's always busy. There's always things going on, and I feel like regardless of the night, the atmosphere here it's pretty lively. It's pretty exciting. There's a lot of energy. It's almost like Cheers. You come in and you're going to see faces and John greeting people. It's just got a great energy. It's a great place. Well, we're bringing John on in just a minute or so. Tom, great stuff as always. Thank you very much.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Folks, as we bring it back in here to the U-Pick 6 Public House studio, just a reminder that every single time you attend the United Podcast in person, you get a chance to enter your name into the Golden Ticket Giveaway, one of our biggest giveaways we've ever had for Gannon Athletics in the 2025-2026 year. Just a reminder that if you come in person, you have an opportunity, if you show proof of purchase, to win free season tickets for the 2026-2027 year, as well as reserve seating at every Gannon Athletics event for next year as well. That's how you enter. Very simple, very easy. Just make sure to visit the U-Pick 6 Public House or wherever we're doing our podcast each and every single month and each and every single week at those locations. All right, let's bring in the man who is the man with the plan, and he has been doing so many great things with this in every single location. None other than the owner of John Russell Hospitality Group. That is Mr. John Melody. Busy as always, my friend, but thanks again for coming on. This is cool tonight. This place is completely packed.
It is packed, and we're on a serious wait right now, so it kind of, I'm on edge having to sit down here.
I'm probably
taking
taking you. Well, if you ever got to leave,
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Feel free. It's great to see you as always. It's so much going on, and I know that this has been wonderful for us to get to go to different locations, and Public House being here, things seem to be trending in a wonderful direction for your group and for these restaurants as a whole.
Yeah, generally speaking, we're happy enough. I mean, as everybody knows, we had a good summer. I mean, May and June weren't good, but July, August, September, and October were absolutely fantastic. So, we're almost into holiday season, as you can see behind me here. I mean, the decorations are up already. We're in the Christmas season. We're in the Christmas spirit. So, yeah, we're looking forward to a busy season here and finish out 2025 strongly, hopefully.
Man, time flies.
Sure
no doubt.
does.
It's been a quick year. It's been a great year. And you have a lot of specials going on at every restaurant, but I feel like it's important to just talk about the specials you have going on, and then we'll get into some of the fun contests and things that you have going on as well, because I know there's a big one.
Yeah, a couple of things going on. I mean, obviously, this is all about Gannon and Tap House downtown, very, on the edge of Gannon campus, as we often say. And it's tough down there right now. Everybody knows that, kind of trying to go to events and classes and stuff at Gannon with the roadworks and the Bayfront closure right there at State Street with all the roadworks that have gone on downtown. But, we've done a few things at Tap House to try and, attract some more business, because it is a bit of a destination in the downtown right now. There's, it'll all be good when it's done, but we have to get through that. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a quagmire in some ways right now, but we'll get there in the end. But we do have our, weekend late night happy hour, kind of a reverse happy hour. So our happy hour that everybody kind of knows and loves, from 4 to 6 on weekdays. We've replicated that then from 8 to 10 on the weekend nights at Tap House. Also, we're doing 8 to 10 p.m. at all our locations. We are doing $5 Guinness. That's kind of in conjunction with, we're giving away 2 tickets to a Premier League game in England for the next season, right? So we have this whole, come get your stamps, different match days. So come watch a Premier League game at any John Russell location, get your stamp and enter for a chance to win that. That'll be a fantastic. I might even go on that trip myself, depending on who wins it, I guess. But no, I've been to Premier League games in England, and they're a fantastic occasion, right? So I think this is something we like to do in conjunction with John Russell Hospitality, the Erie Commodores. We do have a lot going on. It's kind of hard to explain it all in one sitting here, but just keep an eye on what we do, and we're always trying to do good things and make it exciting and make it worthwhile to visit any of our locations.
I was going to talk to you about the excitement around the sport specifically that you follow the most in soccer, the background that you have, and you mentioned the giveaway and the contest for the 2 free Premier League tickets, but you've got the World Cup coming up. There's so much excitement with it being partially in the U.S. Just for you in person, because I'm sure you're going to try to get to as many of those as you can. What's that like to have that come to the U.S.?
That's amazing. I mean, it was here in 1994. It's interesting. I was at the Ireland-Italy game in Giant Stadium in 1994 when Ireland actually beat Italy in the first game of the World Cup, or one of the first games of the World Cup. It's hard to think we are going into 2026, and I still have that boyish enthusiasm about the World Cup. It's a fantastic, and I'm more enthusiastic today because Ireland just beat Portugal in a World Cup qualifier. Wow. So that was earlier today. Ronaldo got himself sent off, and Ireland won 2-0. So
perfect day.
That's a good day for any Irish guy. So exactly. But you see soccer, how much it has grown, how big it is, the participation. Even here tomorrow, we have a watch party for Fairview boys soccer, who are in the state final tomorrow, starting here tomorrow at 4:00. So we have a lot of people coming for that. So we do a lot with soccer. It's a game that got me to the States, has given me so much, and I'm happy to give back in any way I can to that sport.
Gannon, we got a couple of big soccer games as well. Women will likely be in the NCAA tournament next week. Men's soccer home tomorrow at 2:00. And I know Coach Peterson, Coach Colton well. It's neat to get to see what they do year in, year out. And when you experience it this time of year, people don't quite realize just how popular the sport is. Globally, obviously, it's the most popular. But here in the States, you get to this time of year and you realize just how much excitement there is for it.
There is. And it's funny. I just took 40 people to Ireland for the Pittsburgh Steelers game a couple of weeks ago. And what a fantastic occasion. 75,000 people in Croke Park, which is our national stadium. And it was amazing. And the weather was fantastic. Steelers won. So, most everybody in that stadium was happy. And But it was interesting because every American walked out of there going, that game went so quickly. I can't believe it went so quickly. And every Irish guy walked out of there going, how do you watch this? It takes forever. So there's the contrast in sports sometimes. Right. And I think sometimes, I'm kind of leading into, sometimes people think soccer is, it could be boring. It's there's not enough goals in it, but it's a fantastic game, and even when it is boring, sometimes at least it's over in 90 minutes, right? It doesn't take 3.5 hours to be boring.
The thing I love about it too is they always start on time.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a Premier League game and they say it kicks off at 11, it kicks off right at 11 o'clock.
Right.
I love that timeliness.
It is. And listen, and good luck to Billy Colton, obviously in conference playoffs tomorrow. And like you say, Colin Peterson and the girls team down there will get an NCAA bid next week, right? Yeah. So, and I've coached a lot of those. I've coached those guys themselves. I've coached a lot of their players, and I couldn't be happier to see what those guys are doing. I'll be there tomorrow to support Billy, and I'll hopefully the girls that get a home game will be there for that too. So, listen, it's a great game. We're busy. Life's good, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Take me through anything else that might be important. I mean, I know every time you come on, it's a great time of year because we're getting close to the holidays, of course, now, and just so much excitement around the air of what's going on. What are you looking most forward to in the next couple of months, in addition to some of the things that you just talked about here?
Yeah, well, it's the customer. It's a good time of year. We've booked a lot of Christmas parties at various locations, and we'd like to think we do a good job at that, and and it's also a time where we'll do our gift of giving on our Christmas trees that we give back to Mercy Centre, back to the Boys and Girls Club. So in a couple of weeks, if you want to come in and grab a tag off a tree and give back to the local people and people that are less fortunate. So that is a huge part of our philosophy. It's a huge component of what we do. We realize how fortunate we are. It is still a great country. There's no doubt about that, despite what a lot of people might say. It's a great country. There's a lot of opportunity. And when we can be part of a great community, we will always do that. And I think it's very important to think that way.
Forgive me if you've told me, do you have a Premier League team?
I do not. I'm a West Brom fan. Okay. West Brom are in the Championship, so I can't even claim that right now. So I just enjoy watching the game. So I'm good.
Yeah, Manchester City, Liverpool was a fun one. I don't follow it as much as you do, but it seems there's a lot of parity in the league this year too, which maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, but it just seems like it's a lot of fun. And again, how can you enter? How can you be a part of the opportunity to win 2 tickets for a Premier League game?
Yeah, just stop into any of our locations, watch a Premier League game. The management here will give you what we call a match day ticket, and you have to get so many stamps in that. There's different events that go on throughout the year that you get an extra stamp, and then we'll give away the prize in May. So you have a lot of time. I think you have to get 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 stamps throughout the course of the season. So stop in, get your stamp, and hopefully we'll be taking you to England next fall and bring you to a Premier League game in London. There's also a pub in London called the John Russell. So whoever wins, I'll be happy to buy him a pint or two in the John Russell in London as well. So I'm excited about it. I think a lot of our staff and our management are, and like I say, it's a good thing, and we're doing that kind of with John Russell, with Commodores, with Guinness. They've been supportive in this too. They're a sponsor of the Premier League. So, like I say, a lot of good things happening. And, like I say, just keep an eye on us on social media, website, stop into the stores. We'll do our best to take care of you. And if we don't, you let me know. I'll take care of that.
No, I don't think you're going to have any complaints. Yeah. Great stuff, man. Always appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much. No, thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
John Millity, great stuff around the holidays on a busy night here on Thursday.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Couple of other notes and news around the area as we continue along here on the United Podcast before we get to our top 5 plays of the week and then conclude our show here this evening. I want to give a shout out to men's wrestling, who was just ranked 10-19 by both the NWCA and the Open Mat in the rankings that just came out just a few short hours ago. In fact, it was late yesterday that these results came out. So congratulations to men's wrestling. Again, you heard from head coach Tom Boyd and just the incredible job that he has done so far this year for the team. And again, a big shout out and congratulations to all of them for being a big part of the early start of the season success. And we'll, of course, continue to follow them and other teams that are having great success, which is most of the teams here at Gannon as we roll along. Hey, postseason awards came out for men's and women's soccer. Let's start on the men's side. First and foremost, congratulations to Sphero Orton for winning the PSAC West Division Athlete of the Year. Sevi is no stranger to these awards. He's been a huge part of the Golden Knights his entire career, and a huge congratulations to him for winning yet again another incredible PSAC award at the end of the season. He's joined by teammate Enzo Recca, who wins the Freshman of the Year, a big striker for this Golden Knight team. Enzo has been a consistent goal-scoring prowess for head coach Billy Colton of the Golden Knights. So Enzo Recca wins the Freshman of the Year in the PSAC West Division. Speaking of head coach Billy Colton, as expected and as deserved, Coach Colton wins PSAC West Coach of the Year. This has been something that has been brewing middle of the season on. Gannon, of course, as Coach Colton would admit, didn't have what they thought was the greatest start. Since then, they have just been rolling up to 7th in the regional rankings, and now the top seed in the Western Division. And like we said, they will have a chance to host tomorrow and hopefully host Sunday in the PSAC semifinals and championship game. 7 first-team all-conference players for head coach Billy Colton of the Golden Knights. Jensen Pete, Gonzalo Perez, Rafa Hyde, Enzo Recca, Sphere, Orton Shota Toyama, and Andre Morales are the first-team recipients for men's soccer and the PSAC postseason awards. And not to forget, Frederick Paulson, the freshman, was also named to the second-team all-conference for men's soccer. Congratulations to Frederick, also known as a Tic-Tac goal finalist. If you've missed those segments, go back on social media and check them out. Women's soccer with plenty of all-conference first-team recognees as well, including Hannah Shepard, Destiny Robertson, Brooklyn Respecki, Grace Emanuel, Ella Fidel, and Morgan Seinen. And on the second team, Jessie Watkins, another great year for her, named to the second-team all-conference for women's soccer. Colin Peterson's team well in the mix for an NCAA tournament bid despite the close loss earlier this week on their home field. So cannot wait to see what happens for the rest of soccer playoffs. Of course, volleyball getting ready for the PSAC tournament next week as well, with senior day around the pike on Saturday after they face Slippery Rock Friday at home. All right, let's finish out our show the only way we know how. The top 5 plays of the week. Got a really, really good list this week, including some accolades that make our top 5 list. So here we go. It is our top 5 plays of the week that was, and we start at number 5. How about men's soccer regular season finale against Cal? Look at this pass. Gorgeous. From Sphere Orton to Rafa Hyde. First team to first team. Sevi with his arms outstretched, finding Rafa for the goal. One more look. A little left-footed boot between not one, but 2 defenders. And Rafa Johnny on the spot. He redirects passes into the net like nobody else. Gannon, like we said, come out to McConnell Family Stadium tomorrow at 2 o'clock as they face Westchester in the PSAC semifinals. Here comes number 4. Look at this move by Tristan Keenan. Oh, my goodness. Whoop. See you later. Defender falling as Tristan with a little juke move. That's more than just a juke. It's an ankle breaker like you see point guards in basketball make. Forward to back, and then the legs turn yet again. Keenan with a big day. Gannon falling to Cal, but a great offensive play there from Keenan in the home finale last week. How about at number 3, CCA Tip-Off Classic? We could have played a million of these plays from Bree Claxton because this is what she does. Pull up Jay against one of the best defenses in the country. One more look. Stop, stutter, smooth finish from Claxton. Gannon with wins over the 2nd and 4th ranked teams in the country in the D2 CCA this past weekend. They're 2-1 back home this Saturday and Sunday. At number 2, it goes to Maria Melnick, one of the young student athletes for this women's swimming team, doing big things, setting a school record this past weekend in the 100 freestyle at Case Western Reserve. Her time of 50.8 was a school record and etches her name in history as she's looking to have a big season. Congratulations to Maria on an incredible feat, our number 2 top play and top accolade of the week. But at number 1 for the second straight week, for our second time in 3 weeks, but this time for an even greater reason, is Emily Bowers. Second place, almost got first in regionals, half a second off that time she was, but she becomes the first ever Golden Knight women's cross country runner to make the national tournament in Kenosha, Wisconsin, coming up next week. She will be running with hordes of others in a chance and an opportunity to have a great showing at the national competition. Our sincere congratulations to Emily Bowers. What an amazing month of November and end of October for her. She's a national qualifier after coming in second in the NCAA Atlantic Regional, missing first by just about half a second. It was so close. Congratulations to all for making your top 5 plays of the week. So many others that did not make the list that are worthy, including, like we mentioned, those all PSAC honorees for the soccer programs, swimming program, school record, women's 400 medley relay also tied a school record. So just an amazing week again of Gannon Athletics, and we're so happy to be able to support them. Hey, speaking of support, while we log off the show tonight, make sure if you're in the area and you're looking for Thursday plans, women's wrestling is in action tonight in 15 minutes from the Highmark Event Center for their first home meet of the year. They will face Deauville at 7 o'clock, so 15 minutes from now at the top of the hour. Make sure to head on over. So if you're on campus and you're a student, show up. If you're here at the public house right now, finish up dinner, show up. If you're near the campus, show up. It's going to be an exciting first dual meet of the season for women's wrestling as the Golden Knights look to take down Deauville in the opener tonight. That's going to do it for us here at the UPick 6 Public House. Another show comes your way next Thursday, November 20th at 6 p.m. right back here at a wonderful place, wonderful location. The Christmas lights are up for holiday decor, and it's busy as always in here, as it should be. Great food, great atmosphere, and no one better than Mr. John Melody and the UPick 6 Public House to be at here in this month of November. We will see you all next week, everybody. Another packed show ahead as we get ready for NCAA and more conference playoffs. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday evening. Thanks for being with us tonight and every single week on the United Podcast.